The McElroy brothers are not experts, and their advice should never be followed. Travis insists he's a sexpert, but if there's a degree on his wall, I haven't seen it. Also, this show isn't for kids, which I mention only so the babies out there will know how cool they are for listening. What's up, you cool baby?
It's familiar, but not too familiar, but not too not familiar. It's a new craze. Hey, good girls, do you wanna just say, hey, I wanna? Just say, hey, I wanna.
Hey, everybody. It's E3 time again. Heading out to sunny LA to see the latest and greatest in video games. This is my brother and me, Vice from the Modern Era. I'm Justin, and the middle one's Travis and Griffin. But
I am Sinistar.
I want to talk to our leading video game expert to get his predictions about what we're going to see at the big show. Travis McElroy. Video games have come a long way since Pac-Man, as I remember it. Maybe you could let us in on what we can expect from interactive entertainment in 2014 at E3.
Well, the buzz is that they're gonna make Pac-Man, but for girls.
And what will the difference be? Justin asked with a fair amount of trepidation.
The Pac-Man will have female genitalia. And it will be visible.
I always assumed Pac-Man's mouth was a vagina this whole time. Is that incorrect?
No, it is correct.
Terrific.
It'll just be more blatant.
Our fastest, most problematic episode to date.
So what else can we expect from video games?
Well, do you remember the Sonic game for Dreamcast in which you could collect little animals and they were in your memory card?
Cows.
They're going to take that, but turn it into a little standalone game. In which you can like feed the animals and clean up their poop and exercise them.
So like a Tamagotchi is what?
Like a what? Except they will die within seconds.
They're telling us we need to wrap up our segment. Any other quick rapid-fire predictions about the big show?
I think they're going to make a new Mario game.
That's probably...
Now, when you say they...
Video game people.
The video game people are...
The video gamesters.
Jim Tendo.
My name's Jim Tendo. I've been making Mario games from my garage for the past 30 years, and I'm not going to do a goddamn thing different. It's all I know.
His original name wasn't Mario, it was Mark. My brother Mark, who is a plumber, yes.
I have a calendar. Each page is 1 year. On alternating pages, there are pictures of Mario and Link. That helps me remember.
Helps you remember which year I'm on. Guess which year this is? Sinistar. We don't even do Sinistar, I don't think.
And when I say they, I just mean me, Jim Tendo.
Jim Tendo, I make all of the video games you play.
I want to help people.
I don't like video games anymore.
Me neither.
I just think they peaked.
When? Prince of Persia? The original one? Battletoads. Quest for Glory. I haven't
Quest for Glory 4.
I haven't played a game that has been as good as Quest for Glory since Quest for Glory.
That's goddamn true.
Yeah, that's accurate. Let's not talk about this anymore. I feel like this is excluding if not a majority of our audience, at least all the cool ones.
Yeah. Video games are a huge bummer.
So let's move on to some helping. I work on a history ship. No ghosts. Sorry.
Now, to be fair, Justin, it does say historic ship, not a history ship.
Hop along on my history ship. We're going back to 1512. What's up in 1512? Nothing. It sucks. Hop on the boat. Here comes the time dock. Oh, shit. We missed the time dock.
Time to pay your fees to disembark.
We missed the time dock. Now it's 1314. It gets worse as you go back.
Now we're going to charge you all a premium for the smallpox vaccine.
That's how they get you on History Time Ship.
That's how they extort you on the history ship. I work on a historic ship. No ghosts. Sorry.
Prove that.
And also that you can see and that have made their presence known.
Yeah.
I mean, let's qualify a little bit.
They're all around us.
I also live in one of the staterooms that used to be officers' quarters. The deal is that I live here for free as long as I agree to be the after-hours security guard. The problem is I have a hard time kicking people off who snuck on late at night. I'm not a naturally intimidating person. I'm a young, early 20s woman, usually very cheerful, sort of plump, and I like nearly everyone I meet. What are some things I can do to scare trespassers so they'll get lost without putting up a fight? And that's from Scarcely Scary Sailor.
Your last sentence is answered by your first one.
Yes. 1,000 times yes.
You have to pretend a ghost.
You gotta ghost them.
You have to ghost them.
All you have to do, walk up in like a old-timey dress and say, like, have you seen my child? And they will fucking run away.
Ooh. Oh, God. Travis, you just put a chill up my spine.
Right?
A ghostly chill.
MBMBaM chillers.
Oof. Have you seen my husband? He said he'd meet me at the lifeboats.
Tropic chillers.
I'm cold.
I ate some bad shrimp at the buffet.
Oh no, I've had the norovirus for 3 days. I don't have any fluid in my body or my bowels. Boop. I booped everywhere.
The porter lost my trunk.
That's not ectoplasm, it's my crushing diarrhea again. Oh no, I've got to go by.
What if you are too good is my worry.
And they stab you because they don't know how ghosts work.
And they bust you.
They call the Ghostbusters. Here's my question, okay? You're a very convincing ghost.
Yeah.
All right? The Ghostbusters show up to bust you.
Mm-hmm.
You tell them, oh, sorry, I understand the confusion. I'm a human pretending to be a ghost.
Yeah.
I'm ghost catfishing. I'm ghost fishing. They say, haha, ghost, oldest trick in the book.
You don't think Slimer trying that shit?
We've tried this one. We've seen this one many, many times before. You are a ghost. Bustin' makes me feel good. Add it up.
When they and those proton beams, those don't just like make you twirl around and sparks shoot off of you. Those will lave you in half.
Okay, so we can all agree that there is a circumstance in which the Ghostbusters have accidentally murdered people.
Almost certainly.
Somebody tries to break into the Bustin' HQ late at night, and Winston's jumpy. He's like, "Whoa, who's that?" And then he opens his bedroom door. Blast! Oops! Sorry.
Now, why would you jump on Winston, who is my favorite Ghostbuster?
Yeah. Justin, you want to explain that?
Why? I thought he might be near the front door.
Makes sense.
I don't know, because he was the last Ghostbuster, so he would
so he got the shittiest bed.
Shittiest bed, right.
Everybody else wants to be on the second floor above, so they can use the pole. You know, and they know immediately when they fucked up too, right? Because you kill the woman, and then she's just there again, but in a different form. Now you do need to bust that, because she has been murdered in a horrible manner. And
then it just goes down in the books as a preemptive busting.
Yeah. That's a good point, Travis. It's a causal busting.
Not premeditated.
Not premeditated. Accidental causal busting.
So we hope you know what? You don't need to scare people off. Just be cool.
Listen, honest to God, I've never snuck into anything ever, but I can imagine that if I snuck onto something and somebody with a flashlight, period, were to say, hey, get off, I'd be like, oh, yep. You got
Cursing a lot is good, too.
That one's on me. I'm not supposed to be here, and I recognize that. I am a dork.
Yeah, it seems weird that people wouldn't just, leave. I don't know. I would be so frightened.
Is there anyone who tries to argue, no, I'm supposed to be here?
I'm on the list. I'm on the historic boat list, if you could take a look.
I just think you throw a good throaty curse at them, and they're gonzo. What's more scary if somebody shines a flashlight on you in a place you're not supposed to be and is like, hey, get out of here. Or like, hey, get the fuck out of here. You're gone. You've vanished.
You're out. You're done.
I'll eat your fucking eyeballs.
I'd assume they hired a Frankenstein.
Yeah.
No noise that scary could come from
that they captured. They took the history ship back in time to when Frankenstein was.
And they captured him.
1991.
You all remember that, right? You guys all remember that. 1991.
You remember when Frankenstein had that hit song "I'm Too Sexy for My Shirt," right?
That's how you know. That's how you know you were a child in the 90s. You remember when Frankenstein was alive.
It's one reason to know if you were a child in the 90s. Frankenstein killed your sister. You want a Yahoo?
Sure.
This Yahoo was sent in by fucking, who do you think? Drew Davenport. Guys, like,
You and
should
Drew
we
just have a direct pipeline.
I think we need to get Drew on the show to explain, like, how he finds these goddamn gems, because they're all gems. And, like, I'm not saying that everybody else is bad, but, I mean, he's clearly running the game right now. Spoiler alert, he has 3 questions on the show. I don't even need to say who's sent him in anymore. Anyway, Emerald member.
Right.
Level
Now you
50,
just have to say when they weren't sent in by Drew.
Level 61, Yahoo Shaman. He bought the expansion. He broke past the level cap. Thank
He
you.
hits 100, he gets a mount.
Thank you, Drew. It's asked by Yahoo Answers user KTI, who asks, does jail make you a man? If it does, I'm thinking of stealing something or hurting someone so that I can go there. I want to get bulked up and have a strong personality. So does it? Does it or not? I think we should strip the gender from this.
Yeah.
Does
Let's
jail-
say, does it make you tough?
Doesn't make you
a grown-up, right? I mean, that's the question.
I guess if we're being very literal about it, does it make you older than 18?
I think of course, these are not the same class of people, but there is something to me about people who have been in prison or served in the military, and that they've been in something that is unknowable to me.
Right.
These are not an experience.
You
that
hope.
Yes.
I hope, right? That I have ever had, will ever have. I hope. So that does make me see them like differently. I don't know if like grown up is the word.
But here's my thing, because I've been trying to think like where that perception comes from, and it's got to be just like movies and TV, because every time I've watched like an actual documentary or anything that actually like shows real prisons and real people in the prisons, it just seems like it makes you sad.
Yeah.
You know, but like in movies, it's always like, oh, it toughened them up, made their souls all leathery, and you couldn't mess with them after that because they'd been in prison. But really, then you watch things and it's just like, I miss my family so much.
I don't know about that. Like Shawshank had like maybe a few rough members in there.
Yeah.
But most of the dudes in Shawshank, I would say, are pretty pillowy.
I mean, I guess that's true. Shawshank's more about like breaking people. It's more about, you know, like fucking Brooks and shit. And okay, Brooks didn't come out tough. No one at the supermarket that Brooks worked at was like, do not fuck with
damn,
Brooks.
don't fuck with
Do not
Brooks.
fuck with Brooks.
He will sharpen a carrot and stab you in the eyeball. Brooks was here, bitch. Stab, stab, stab.
Yeah, that would be a way better movie. Man, that movie sucked.
Shawshank Redemption 2. Brooks was
It's
here.
here.
That movie could have used way more produce violence in it. Do you guys think... I mainly just included this question to ask if you guys think you would do good in jail. Because, like, I sometimes think about it, and I think about putting myself in that situation, and I think about how I would thrive on, like, a strategic level, and I would, like, make the right partnerships and alliances with the people that I needed to help myself reign. But then I think, I'm thinking of Survivor.
Well,
I think we have the closest thing we have to this is middle school.
I was just about to say that. I was just about to say, I know we talked about this last week, but middle school is prison.
I certainly adapted to that socioeconomic structure by graduating after 3 years.
Yeah.
You keep
That
your
was the
head
way I
down.
dealt with that.
You don't upset the guards.
I went to
You do
Kamak.
your 3 years, you get out.
I went to Kamak Middle Clink, and it was not.
I look
awesome.
back at my time at Kamak and think about how much I spent, like, okay, you're like the football team, popular, cool kids. I'm going to make you laugh and make you guys not want to beat me up. I don't remember ever getting, like, beat up or...
It wasn't just that.
seriously picked
It wasn't
on.
just that, was it? It was... Okay, so it seems like I have to sort of fit into a group and find a group. Well, I'm going to take a day and think about it. Oh, fuck, all the groups are closed now.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I
all
guess I'm
set.
just... Oh, you're all calling me Pig Boy. My new name is Pig Boy. My new name is Pig Boy. And you
That gentleman stole my super donut.
Oh, how fun.
Excellent.
No, that
Very
is
well.
that is fine. It's my fault for taking a day to think about what the role that I'm going to fill for the rest of my Kamak Middle Clink career is gonna be. No, that's fine. No, that's my fault for taking a day.
Yeah, that is really true. I would constantly see people in groups or teams, and think, how did you get into that?
How did you
I
do
don't
this?
remember anybody
did you sign up
announcing-
for it? Was it a thing? Like you paid
there a
$10?
sign-up?
Did you all get pantsed at the same time and you all looked at each other's wieners and you were like, well, this sucks. Should we hang out?
We're gonna do our own thing here, right? So we can watch each other's backs and not get pants.
Did one footballman do like a running tackle and manage to get all 6 of you in his wingspan and pinned you to the ground and peed in your hair at the same time? And you're just like, well, I guess we're friends now.
The only group I ever heard about, and oh my God, I'm just remembering this story, and in the context of the present day, it is very strange that at one point in middle school, I had one chance to get into a clique or a group of some sort. There was a young lady who told me about an organization that she was involved in, where it was sort of like a youth group, except the main activity was that they would take the youth around to try to buy cigarettes to see if they could.
And that was going to be your clique?
Sort of
You were
like-
going to be part of fucking Narc Club?
No, like Narc Club apparently did like a ton of other cool shit, as I remember, like go to movies and have pizza parties.
They tried to buy cigarettes and also drank a lot of beer.
I'm now that I'm like thinking about it in retrospect, maybe my like non-involvement with this particular club
With the fucking honeypot society? We're bait kids. Come hang out with us, Justin. Hi, I'm the leader of this group. I'm John Quinones, and these are my bait kids. Come on, bait kids.
To be fair, that does seem like first you go in and you try to buy cigarettes, and then like next step you go to a restaurant and see if you get carded, and then third step you're catching predators.
We're gonna knock
the
up.
one.
Listen, we got a busy day of filming. We need to get you kids all around town. By the third show, though, like the criminal element in that town is call each other like, "Hey, watch out, bait kids are out."
Don't pick up one of those bait kids.
Bait kids are on the prowl.
I would like a glass of wine, please. Yeah, right, bait kid. Let me see your ID. I already got the call from Hector. You got it. Oh, you're right. You're right. This is convincing makeup. Quinones will go to any length to fuck you over.
I bet you actually are 16 and you got Jack disease and you're legally a 16-year-old. That's the link Quinones will go to.
Get out of here,
Get out of here, bait kid.
you wrinkly ass kid.
Wrinkly ass bait kid with your old liver spots, and you're dying. You're dying.
And your dyingness.
Oh God, you're dying now.
You're
really
withering away before me, like the dude in Holy Grail.
You're really selling this bait kid. You're turning to dust. You're turning to
You have
dust
chosen
before my
poorly.
You never know. It
eyes.
might be
Sorry, bait kid.
I miss you, bait kid. I wish you were still here, bait kid.
Quinones rolls up like 15 minutes later. Time to move to the next set. What'd you do to my bait kid? He's Ash.
He was my nephew, and he had Jack disease, and I loved him.
This is the fourth old ass bait kid this week.
That bait kid nephew's gonna make me richer than I am. I'm already very rich. I'm John Quinones.
I'm 26, and I've recently started going to college again after a dismal attempt at online education. I met this lovely young lady in my public speaking course that I really dug, and we have some great common footing. We're about the same age with similar interests. We both work full-time, and we go to school full-time. We started getting a little flirtatious during class, but then I found out her last name. Turns out, she is the niece of my stepfather's stepfather. Now, I'm no genealogist, but I think by marriage, that makes us double step cousins once removed. Hachi Machi. Now I know it. She knows it, and the American people know it. Pump them brakes, or keep on trucking. That's from maybe a mishap in Grand Rapids.
I can't like. Is there any blood there?
The point is not whether or not there's blood. It doesn't matter, right?
That sounds so crazy. Like
Justin Tyler McElroy, let me pitch this.
Is the point? Here's what I'm trying to get to here, guys. You are wanting to move on because you don't know if there's blood or not. I'm saying, is that the issue?
This is the fucking Kobayashi Maru, though. Because
what I'm saying is, it's not the issue, because the issue is, and your family knows, and that's the thing. Is like, okay, let's draw a line down 2-3 years. You guys really hit it off. You get engaged day of the wedding. Are you on the groom's side or the bride's side? Both.
But that's so far off. What if it's love? This is what I'm saying. I don't want to fall into this trap, but that's so crazy far apart. Like, you never would have met her, except you did.
You did, though.
You did meet her, though.
It wasn't even at a family gathering. That's fair.
I guess you got points in that column.
You didn't meet her by just like nature or God or what have you brought you two together, right?
Probably nature and
what you're
God.
saying is God wants this to happen.
God wants this to happen, and if that's true, nature wants it to happen. Mother Gaia.
Do you
Captain
like
Planet.
each other because you are related? Do you have a weird uncle that you both shared tender memories of before realizing that it was the same guy?
Well, it would be your weird uncle, her like step brother uncle, it'd be your step brunkle at that point.
It would be your funky.
It would be your funky dunky unky. My boy just got married last weekend. Mad props to Jacob Dunkel. I'm so proud of you.
What's up, Funk Uncle?
What up, funky unk? Thanks for the bachelor party invite, you piece of trash. Just kidding.
Human garbage.
I hope you had a good time.
All right, here comes another question coming right to your dome. My girlfriend and I just moved in together. Neither of us have lived with a significant other for a long-term period, and we need advice about finances. What's the best way to keep track of how much we're both spending and divide it up evenly? Some other details. I work full-time and make a reasonable, but not excessive, amount of money, and my girlfriend is preparing to go to med school next year, so there's an income difference between us. And that's from Long Term in Louisville.
This is a great question because we have the opportunity to, between the three of us, determine, like, this is like we're talking about sitting on the same side of the table, other side of the table, that kind of thing. How do you guys do it?
I had to, by the way, do that. We went to an Italian restaurant yesterday, Rachel and I did, and we sat at like a semicircle table, and they put like all of our plates and shit together at the end of the semicircle. It was a waking nightmare. We were both just shuddering the entire time. We couldn't even.
Don't touch me.
We couldn't
Don't touch
eat. What do we do? Like, doesn't everybody reach a point where they just don't give a fuck about how the money's distributed anymore? Is that marriage? Because I think
that's absolutely right.
I think I hit that point like way before marriage, where like it was even before we got like a joint checking account or anything like that. It was
I
just
think
like
early on.
You do it.
Yeah, I think early on you fall into this trap of going like, well, I pay for the cable, and so you pay for the gas, and I'll pay for the thing. And eventually, like, after you've been together long enough, all of your money is the same because, like, you're paying for dinner, or she's paying for the movie, or you're paying for, whatever. And eventually it's like, listen, let's not keep track. This needs paid. You have money right now, and I don't, so you pay it. When we first got together, Teresa and I wasn't making a lot of money because I was bouncing between part-time jobs, and so she, like, paid rent for, like, the first 3 or 4 months we were together, and
that's a lot.
Yeah, but then eventually it just kind of balanced out because then I started paying for groceries and started paying for, stuff around the house, and eventually it all balances out in the wash, especially if you're together for, like, a long enough period of time. Eventually it's all going to just even out to zero anyway. So, what Teresa and I did is we went through and determined how much, like, we spent on bills and rent and everything, and then opened a joint checking account, and then we deposit enough money in it to cover all those things, plus a little bit more, auto debited out every month, so we don't have to worry about it, and we're both just feeding money into that account. That way we're just paying for it together.
It's like rounding, like how if you buy something from a store, you round to the cents. Maybe the longer you're together, there's a formula where, at first you would round to like the buck, right? This was a $64 dinner. We each need to pay $37 of it, and then the longer you're together, you round.
Did such a bad job at that.
No, that was pretty good. You round to the maybe 27, wasn't it, or 30?
32.
Don't worry about it. It's not a big deal.
Okay. Anyway, and then the longer you're together, you round to the teens. Like you spent $40 on the movie, and tomorrow I'll spend $40 on dinner. And then after you've been together for a couple of years, then you round it like to the thousands. You spent $1,000 on rent. I spent nothing.
Rachel and I are up to the bills.
To the billions.
We're up to the billions, yeah.
You spent $1 billion on that private jet. I don't know how much those cost.
$1 billion. That's $1 billion, round billion. And I bought 3 Bugattis. For 300.
I have hit a point where it's like, that is expensive. It's probably $1 billion.
Yeah. Oh, a Bugatti? It's probably 333 repeating $1 million, I would assume. You could probably get 3 of those bad boys for a clean bill.
For a boog?
Oh, for a boog? For a Bugavinsky?
Where are you guys at now? As far like, do you think that once you're married is the time to transition to like, it doesn't matter whatsoever, or do you think that there's still a
1,000%
divide?
Because I think once you're married, especially once you're married, it hits a point. And listen, if you're the type of couple that decides just to live together forever and marriage isn't important to you, this also includes you. Once you've made that commitment, there are people out there who do not believe in the institution of marriage. I'm talking to you too. Once you hit that point, like your survival and thriving in life becomes so intertwined that it's like, I will also pay for the gas so that you do not stall out on the highway later, because that would also be bad for me because our lives are intertwined so deeply.
I don't want to pay for this, but I also don't want to be married and or permanently tied to a bag person, some sort of person out on the streets.
Yes.
I can't have that. I have to keep you financially solvent to a certain extent.
If you
Because
look at
it's not like having a roommate. If your wife or husband or significant other can't afford to pay rent, but you can, there is
I'm
no
very
like,
sorry, sweetheart.
hit the bricks. Time to start looking for a new roommate. Guess you
Damn
off
it.
the old Jabberooski.
Rachel, did you eat all those Doritos? I got those were my Doritos. I labeled them.
Paid for those with my money.
We joke. Okay, I just made that goof. But like, while I don't really give a shit about who spends what on what, if Rachel ate my goddamn Doritos, I would probably be pretty upset about that, because it's clearly not for. I mean, they're Doritos. She doesn't typically eat those. I bought those because I knew she didn't eat them, and I got excited about Domitos, is what they were.
Fomitos. For me.
They were Yoritos in the Spanish sense.
I don't think there's a time when I feel more like a fat person than when I eat food that I did not realize was not communal marriage food, but rather my wife's food, her food, and I ate it and I didn't know, and then I realized.
I mean, you did
Wait,
know.
Hold on. How
Yes.
often does that happen, Justin?
Like if it's like, okay, a good example is leftovers. We're not super good at like leftover consumption. So sometimes I'll eat her leftovers and I don't realize, like, so I think I'm being a good boy, right? Justin's good.
You're cleaning out the fridge.
cleaning out the fridge and putting it in my belly fridge.
We talked about this like 3 episodes ago.
Okay.
I think we had different positions on it. So I guess we're still evolving as people.
We grow. We grow, people. We change.
We're growing. Let's go to the money zone.
Hey, that's a pretty good intro. Okay. And a fart noise for color.
How about this? Might I invite you to the money zone?
That was way better. You sound like a warlock.
Well, and you can't see me, but I did the full
No, I
arm
heard
wave
it. I
and
heard
turn.
it. I heard it.
Okay, I just want to make sure my blocking was clear.
I can't see so good because I'm getting old, and I've been
need to eat more
hesitant
carrots.
I've been hesitant about going to the store, because I don't want to let the
Because it's
public
the most
know.
humiliating fucking thing ever, trying on glasses.
Yeah, and the Paps are outside, waiting to snap a few pics of me
Have you-
in my glasses, and then it'll be all over the gossip rags.
Griffin, you wear the glasses. The last time you were in a glasses store trying them on, do you not feel like just the stupidest
I put them
person
all on.
looking yourself in the mirror as you like, put
Preening.
them on your face? And you're
Making
like,
I like the you know how we all do like a smile in the mirror that you like practice your smile so you look less like a creep and more like Sean from Boy Meets World.
Let me just mention real quick. This is an advertisement for Warby Parker.
No, we're gonna get to the advertising, but I'm saying
like I want them to feel like they're getting their money's worth.
I go to
This is part of your ad, Warby Parker.
I went to the glasses store and I had to like put on each pair of glasses and do that Sean from Boy Meets World smile. It made me look like the biggest fucking creep.
I went the last time I went and bought glasses
Another
in a
vignette.
store.
Fantastic.
My wife
Tell me about
was
your
not
childhood.
with me. My wife was not with me, and the number of times I put on glasses and looked at the employees of the store and said, "Does this look good?" Like I was the most helpless human being. Like I clearly can't gauge my own appearance.
You don't have to live like Travis anymore because there's Warby Parker. Glasses shouldn't cost as much as an iPhone. They've got fashionable frames starting at $95. Not just frames, I should mention. They include the lenses too.
That's an amazing deal for anyone who's ever bought in a store. $95 for frames and lenses.
It's fantastic. I mean, what they do is they've got a home try-on program. You can get 5 pairs of glasses, and they're going to ship them to you. You pick the ones you like, and you ship the rest back. There's no obligation. It's free to ship them. It is not even a big deal.
The only problem is that all the glasses come to your door and they're covered in caramel.
It's not accurate.
And you have to clean all the caramel off before you can put them on your face.
Well, they got them secondhand from that store that got washed over with that wave of caramel. That's the thing. Sell them to you at discount prices.
Yeah.
WarbyParker.com/mybrother.
They don't. The caramel thing wasn't true.
That's
not
basically true.
But before we move on, here's something that is true that's very awesome. For every pair of glasses sold, they distribute a pair of glasses to someone in need. So you're buying glasses for yourself and helping someone out at the same time.
In need of
Here's
caramel.
The one thing though, they don't check to see if the prescription matches.
No.
So
they just hand them out. And people go, I don't need glasses. I'm like, you're welcome.
Shut up. You look like Rivers Cuomo. You look awesome. Shut up. Except for
Enjoy this caramel.
you look like if Rivers Cuomo was somehow coated in like if he had caramel eyes.
You're like the sticky faced Rivers Cuomo of the developing world. Now wear your sunglasses.
Rivers of Caramel Cuomo.
If you go to warbyparker.com/mybrother, you're gonna get free 3-day shipping. So that's really nice. Mm-hmm. And you should go, check it totally out. warbyparker.com/mybrother. Go now. Go.
Go. Do it. Speaking of caramel, let's talk about Nature Box. Friend of the show. I think
Makes me
they've
so excited. We've had a number of people tweet,
Yeah.
like, I'm finally trying it. And that's exciting, but at the same time, I want to go, what do you mean finally? We've been talking about this
What took
shit
you
for
so
like
long?
6 months.
What is it we said to you?
I'll know what I said.
How did we? Okay, all right, guys. I'm looking at this month's new snacks. They are amazing.
What we
You
do-
ready
what-
for-
what we
Let
got?
me hit you with some of these new snacks. Sea salt pop pops. Pop. Whole wheat strawberry figgy bars. Okay. How about this? Dark cocoa num noms.
Excuse me?
Chocolate quinoa granola. Maple
You're
habanero.
selling the shit out of this, Justin.
Because of your fun accents that you're doing.
Maple habanero pretzel pops.
Whoa,
You know what my new
fuck.
jam is?
What?
I know.
The praline pumpkin seeds.
Are those good? People.
Oh, God, it's amazing.
The people at Nature Box asked me what snacks I wanted. They're gonna send me a box. Like I want all of them.
You're getting Freebos?
All these look amazing. I'll share them with you guys. Don't
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, you sure fucking
Can't wait.
worry. Coffee kettle popcorn. Like
Goddamn.
yeah. So Nature Box it's all healthy and stuff. There's no GMOs, no trans fat, no high fructose corn
And no
syrup.
HMOs. You can choose wherever you want to go to the doctor with naturebox.com.
It's true, but you will never need to again. That's our guarantee. It's so fucking.
That's what's
healthy.
funny is like you won't even need to go to Warby Parker because you'll eat the fucking snacks and suddenly your eyesight will get
Your
better.
vision's better. These are fashion Warby Parkers. I don't need them anymore. They'll send you.
Check out my fashion Warbies.
They'll send you a whole box of snacks. You can eat the whole thing in one sitting and call the newspaper and tell them you're a disaster.
Then take off your Warby so you don't have to look at yourself in the mirror.
Your Warby so you don't have to see the pile of self mess you created and are now living in. Don't eat them all at once.
Don't.
You're healthy, but nothing's that healthy.
Get one of the boxes that's for like 8 people and just slam jam them.
If you drink water that much, you'll get water poisoning.
Nothing is that healthy that you can eat an entire box of in one sitting.
Anyway,
Snow caps, those are pretty good.
naturebox.com.
NatureBox is healthy. You're going to go to naturebox.com/my brother, and they'll give you 50% off your first box. You can spend that on buying another box, you disaster. 'Cause you ate the whole first
Under a
one.
different name.
Under a different name.
Assumed name. My name is Bustin Lackleroy, and I love your salt caramel pop pops.
Same address.
Same address. Please,
Same
you went
address.
upstairs.
I'm best friends
Just
and
make
roommates.
sure you put apartment 1 and then apartment 2, and they'll never know.
I'm gonna erase apartment 1 because
that won't get
it's just
there.
a single family residence. But yeah, 50% off. You will really like these snacks. So stay full, stay strong. Go to naturebox.com/my brother. That's naturebox.com/my brother.
I got a message for Brian from Sarah. Brian, happy 10th anniversary and 1 year-ish until our wedding. Thank you for all the random hilarity you add to my life, not including introducing me to the McRoy family of podcasts. I fucking love the sound of that, by the way. Now I finally understand the random laughter coming from the kitchen while you do dishes, wearing headphones. Also, thanks for always doing the dishes. Love you. Oh, that's so nice. Man, should we expand our empire so, like, the idea of the McElroy family of podcasts?
I've been thinking about getting into like drug running and numbers.
How would that help our podcast empire?
Oh, no, I was just thinking like a family empire.
You were just
Like
thinking...
Boardwalk Empire?
I haven't watched that show.
Me neither.
Okay. So, okay. Brian and Sarah, happy 10th anniversary. Happy... Man, that sucks dick, doesn't it? That you guys, like, spend all that time, you racked up 10 years, and then after you get married, you have to start right back at 1, right? Just like the Brian McKnight song.
This next one is, well, let me pronounce this name correctly. Master Brad Jameson. And that message is from Justin Steve. Justin Steve say, happy 25th one-up birthday to he who gives good beard, great beer, and mad super boobs. What?
What could you be talking about?
How does one give good beard?
That is very confusing to
no.
me, Master Brett. Brad? Is it Brett or Brad?
No, Brad is his nom de plume.
Brad's his stage name. Jess and Steve, they are...
Please, Brett was my father. Call me Brad.
Gosh, Brett, 25. That's a great birthday. It says 25 plus 1 up, so I'm wondering if it's maybe 26.
Oh,
don't
he's
know.
going to be 25 for a while. Is that it?
Oh, he's gonna
Is
hang-
that it,
yeah.
Master Brett?
Is that what's going on? Well, happy birthday, Brad. Brett.
No, Brad is 32.
Brad's my older dad.
He was 7 when he
years
had
older.
me.
Hey, Ross.
Hey, Carrie.
Hey, it's me, your co-host.
Oh, yeah, we have a show, don't we?
We have a show.
Oh, no, Ross
Oh,
and
no,
Carrie.
Ross and Carrie. It's about undercover investigations of fringe groups.
Yeah, like the Tony Alamo Ministries cult.
Yep, that's led by a pedophile.
He's in jail.
He's in jail. Also, we became Mormons. We became Raelians, which is a UFO group.
That's right. We
We-
joined the Ordo Templi Orientis.
Yes, the 9/11 truthers. We got cupped, we got acupunctured, we got Reiki. We've pretty much anything that you've heard of and been like, that doesn't sound quite right. We've done that.
So you don't have to do it.
So if you want to hear about this, and you should, then go to MaximumFun.org.
We are taking a moment out from our regularly scheduled program. Every once in a while on My Brother and Me, we like to welcome someone who actually knows anything about anything. None of the three of us fill that criteria. But our guest today certainly does. John Roderick is a musician. He is a podcaster. He is an author. He is
A raconteur.
a raconteur, a friend, a father figure to some, myself included.
An herbalist.
An herbalist. John Roderick, welcome to My Brother and
Thank
Me.
you, fellows. Hello.
Are you actually an herbalist, or was Travis talking out of his ass?
No, everything that you said about me is 100% true.
That's also the name of John's autobiography.
That's the full title. Everything you just said about
full
me is
title.
100% true. the John Roderick story.
Herbalist secrets in the back, in the index.
We asked for the audience for questions for you, and we left it very open-ended.
Right.
Because you're an open-ended man.
Well,
I think that's fair to say. And we got a lot of, what would you say, Travis? Duds? It's duds. Duds.
well, now see, this is the thing, guys. You know, like what you might think is a dud question might either be, I mean, first of all, could be a coded message.
Warning you about your impending death.
Well,
Or to activate you like Manchurian Candidate
that's
style.
right. Or it might be one of my agents checking in with me. So what you might interpret as a dud could be something, just that you don't understand, too sophisticated. Or it might be a question that you think is a dud because you haven't heard my answer yet.
That's true. It is just the spark that will light the fire of your intellect. And,
Yeah, you didn't have me.
Travis, maybe you should read the
You
worst
didn't have
one.
me on the show to try and get interesting questions from your ding-a-ling readers.
No.
You had me on the show to answer questions from your ding-a-ling readers. I guess they're not readers, are they?
Some of them probably do read.
They just read the transcripts.
Yeah.
That's the way to really fill it.
That's how you get the
We can-
comedy.
I like to imagine what their voices sound like.
It would just be like it'd be like a sentence, and then it would be sniffle noise, and then another sentence, and then sniffle noise.
Justin opens bag of pretzels.
I try to get them all out, but fuck, guys, we are very nasally productive people.
Poorly masked flatulence. Here's our first question for you, Mr. Roderick. Okay. I'm a musician. This is...
Dear John, I am everyone who's ever asked you anything ever.
This is not me.
Right.
This is another person who is...
Right.
Justin is something of a musician, I would say.
Let's listen. I can play you my Long Winters covers after we're done recording, and
We'll
you
do
can
that
pick
off
the
the air.
best one.
Yeah, that'll be a separate episode where you play me your music, and I.
No, I play you my version of your music, and you tell me if you think I got
Okay.
it.
And then you do our bits.
Okay.
Then you do our bits. Classic. I'm a musician. I make this noise music.
Oh, boy.
It fits well in the cliche of atonal ambient noise, although it's got a drive to it that's accessible. And I like to think I transcend the norm, but I'm just not getting heard. I know the music is all about the art of persistence, so do you have any tips on how I can sell myself, how to solicit venues for gigs, how to get paid? Should I spam my poor Twitter following, more hashtags? And that's from Amy Vibes in Vermont. What do you think? This doesn't sound very good, does it? I mean, just between us.
Well, not really selling it.
There's a lot of underselling language for sure. I mean, using the word cliche to describe your own tunes is, I don't know. I feel like that's maybe a cultural signifier. They don't want to seem like they're too hungry.
I think the term noise music, and I understand that it's a genre, but it's always sounded so pejorative to me.
Yeah.
Because that sounds like noise is what like your shitty upstairs neighbor calls the music that you produce, if they're shitty enough.
Right.
The neighbor, not the musicians.
But,
Just downstairs making some noise
yeah, keep
music.
that. I play racket. You don't play racket.
I feel like noise music, though, I mean, it's such a broad it's like indie music. It's sort of a meaningless word. And it could, I mean, half the soundtracks these days are what you would call noise music, right? I mean, what is the soundtrack to, what the hell was that movie with the, about the...
Meet Dave.
Goodfellas?
No.
Gattaca?
Goodfellas, that was good music. No, the one about the gold, or the oil miner...
Existence.
Existence.
No. There's going to be blood.
There's going to be blood.
I swear to you, there will be
Yeah,
blood.
that was a lot of noise.
Yeah, it was all punk, tank, tink,
Yeah.
tank, and it sounded a lot of like that's what
There she blows.
that's what an oil well sounds like.
That's
I
what
bet
it sounds
inside.
like inside the head of an oil well.
Let me ask you this question from this question, because now it's got me thinking.
Yeah.
Is there a certain truth to if you start making music, right?
Yeah.
If it takes off immediately, if people seem to like it right away, you know you've got something. But if after like a couple years you're still going, I just don't feel like I'm getting heard and it's growing, is that like the world's way of going, maybe it's not good.
No,
Maybe you got no future in this.
not necessarily. I feel like what happens is that, I mean, anytime you've heard of a music scene, that scene is already over, or you know what I mean. Like that scene is not accepting any new members.
Right, that scene's full up.
Right. By the time anyone has heard of a scene, it's like, sorry, too late to join that scene. But that's, for most musicians, that's all that, that's your reality. You look at a scene and you're like, well, I kind of identify with that scene. I would like to be a part of that, but it's like no chance. That those doors are closed.
Then why do people still make rock music, which is the oldest music ever? That's why it's called rock.
Mm-hmm. It's as old as rocks. Yeah.
It's that.
I think what ends up happening is that the way to get into the way for people to hear your music is, it's very rare that somebody just makes genius music. And I mean, this is the fantasy, right? My ex-girlfriend used to say to me, like, well, if your music is any good, you'll just make it and then people will come running. And it's like, wow.
Yeah.
No.
Because you're going to play it super fucking loud. You're going to buy the biggest speakers ever.
Right. You're going to just, I mean, her version of reality was that, like, oh, somebody's going to hear you playing. They're going to be walking by your house and hear you playing, and they're going to happen to be a record executive.
Say, kid.
Yeah, exactly.
Wait, I mean, isn't that true of everybody who wants to be an actor in movies or make paintings? Or
You know what?
All I need is for someone to see it.
I'm a video game journalist, which is sort of like the rock stars of fat people.
Sure.
And even that is like you hope you're going to get discovered and you hope you make it. But I still tell people that if you work really hard at it and you're doing something really good, that the cream
It's not what happened to you, though.
rise. Is that like naive of me?
Some dude saw you kill a can of Pringles 6 chips at a time, and they were like, oh, buddy, eat no more. You have made it.
I feel like what happens is anybody that makes it then revises their origin story and takes out all the parts of their origin story where they're like, well, my mom really helped me a lot, and my dad gave me $8,000, and then and it turns out that I knew a guy who knew a guy who knew a guy who got me on an elevator with a guy. Like, none of that is very interesting, and people mistakenly feel like they want to erase that part of their story because it makes them because it exposes the degree to which you need a leg up, or it exposes their advantage, however small.
That's why I like The Voice. I mean, there's don't get me wrong, there's a lot of reasons why I like The Voice.
I'm sure.
But when I watch The Voice every Tuesday night at 7:30,
and then again Wednesday morning,
to
make sure you didn't miss a new one.
Is this one of the advertisements that you like subtly put into the show,
John?
Is this how you guys get rich?
Damn it!
We're hoping to get free episodes of The
When you
Voice.
watch The Voice.
That's how we get paid. It's a barter system.
When you watch The Voice on Fox at 7:30,
they send us exclusive clips.
I watch. Nobody doesn't know where like that Soul Patrol dude came from. He came from like season 15 of American Idol. You know where he came from. You know his whole backstory. There's no guesswork.
So then it sounds to me like what she's asking there at the end is that she shouldn't be embarrassed to say, like, hey, if you guys like this, make sure to tell your friends if you want to come see a show. I mean,
the problem with that is that you cannot go out and personally shake the hand of 30,000 people and count that every one of those people is going to hear and love your music. I feel like music has always, and even in the internet future land that we're occupying now,
this shitty wasteland.
The shitty wasteland, but the reason you hear about bands is that they are part of a community of other musicians, and you like one, and then you're drawn to see like who their friends are and who they associate with. And most scenes, if you think about it, most scenes are formed by bands that are like the reason they form a scene is that they are initially unwelcome anywhere else, right? You form a collective of other musicians who are struggling because you're living in a world where it's like, oh, I'm not invited into these other scenes. All I have are these other jerks.
Yeah.
Who are right around me.
You get an Isle of Misfit Toys thing going on, but then eventually it becomes like a continent of misfit toys.
That's right. And every music scene starts out as an island of misfit toys, and most of the time, those other bands, maybe they don't sound like you. Maybe, maybe you're friends because you're just proximate to one another. But then a scene comes out of it, and other people look at it and go, actually, there is a connective sound between these acts, and it ends up being the next sound,
Yeah. Maybe
Can you con people into thinking there is a scene, sort of like an Emperor's New Clothes type situation?
Oh, the Vermont noise scene? Oh, it's popping off right now. If you're not making Vermont noise, what are you even doing? It's just leaves rustling.
I feel like everybody that wants to get into show business feels like there's some kind of chemtrails based conspiracy that it's all a con job. It's all like, how do I get my, they're out there buying Facebook likes or whatever. And I think it's much more likely that if you go to see bands that interest you and support your friends, like I think you go see music, first of all, is the number one thing. You support other musicians and support music that you like. Like all that stuff happens very organically. And every successful scene I've ever seen has come up organically among a group of people that are going to each other's shows and share a kind of like-minded desire to perform a certain kind of music. And pretty soon, you're putting on shows where it's like, I'm playing with my friend's band, I'm playing with my other friend's band. You're not worried about penetrating the big show business, capital S, because you're making a little show business. And then the big show business comes looking for you.
I've noticed, John, that you have not to this point mentioned put your music into an Apple commercial. That seems to work.
Yeah,
that seems like the easiest thing.
You're right.
That seems like the easier thing.
You're absolutely right. I should have started off by saying, first thing you do is get on an Apple commercial.
Just get into one of those. I got another question for you. Me and a close-knit group of friends formed a rock band.
See what I'm saying? Next question.
Right. Travis
Validates my viewpoint.
Travis, go back into the files and get me something non-music related as we talk about this next question.
All right.
Okay.
Me and a close-knit group of friends formed a rock band, but the problem is our drummer friend is super flaky and rarely shows up to practice.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to lose him as a friend, but we'll never get out of the garage with him as our drummer. How do I politely give him the old boot? And that's from Dropping the Drummer in Utah. Friend, you're in Utah.
I feel like this question is based on another like rock industry myth, and that is that you have to practice.
Mm-hmm.
You just get in a room.
You just say like, this is our sound. Our sound.
What's our
is we
sound?
Make bad
Get
music.
together. Blank, blank. That's it. That's our
Right.
sound.
Let's go smoke some weed.
Let's smoke a
and-
bunch of weed and see what
and
happens.
Start designing our logo. The number
First,
one thing
we start with fog hat covers, and we just cruise into our own sound.
Perfect.
the number one thing any band needs to do is get out a notebook of lined paper and start designing your logo, because that's where you're going to get an Apple commercial. I'll tell you what.
And make sure you have
and
the
maybe your logo is you kicking the drummer out the door.
Maybe you have a logo contest in the band and say whoever draws the worst logo is out of the band.
Is out, and even if the drummer is a graphic artist,
I don't get it.
you know what,
I
don't
used my
get this.
3D printer. I created this logo. It's a building of us playing. Oh yeah, I like this guy's better. He drew us as like stick figures, all high fiving. You're out.
Yeah, you're out. Sorry, bro. Sorry, he drew the Pearl Jam logo.
John, I don't want to unspool this incredible answer that you just gave, but does the Long Winters have a logo I don't know about? Maybe like an Eskimo shrugging, like what gives?
You know, the initial logo was of a guy in a sort of an Eskimo style coat pushing a snowblower, and the snowblower produced a big cloud of snow cloud, and the Long Winters name was in the snow cloud. That was our original.
And it
logo.
dripped blood.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
It's not exactly giant. It's not exactly giant lips, is it? I mean,
no, it's not, and that was the problem with it. If you look at the Nirvana logo, the first
is that
thing
the ones with the Guns N' Roses in it?
No, that was the Alice in Chains logo. The Nirvana logo is just the name Nirvana in some kind of font. And your first thought
I think it was a
was,
Wingdings.
is it Wingdings font? It's not Comic
It's
Sans.
an edgy fucking band, man. They invented a sound. And
You look at it, and your first thought is Nirvana is the stupidest band name in the history of band names. Like it's
Right.
It seems reasonable now, but when those guys from Aberdeen, Washington, were like, "We're Nirvana," totally ridiculous.
Right.
But it looked good. It was in a font that just looked right, and they put that same exact logo on everything they did, and
that's why they took off.
that's right. Look at them compared to the Long Winters.
Yeah.
Who had some inscrutable Eskimo on their, and it's just like by the time I got to Snow Cloud, you guys weren't even listening.
That's true. I was thinking about the letters dripping blood.
Yeah. But in answer to this person's question, the number of bands I've seen that have believed that there was that the integrity of the original lineup or the core group was paramount, and yet and so they kind of willfully refused to acknowledge that one of the guys was not committed to being in the band, and that person was just committed enough that they would be willing to stick around and thwart the band's ambitions time and time again until all was destroyed.
Sure.
That's a very common problem in collaborative work. Like, this person doesn't love the band enough to recognize that they need to quit for the band to do well.
I mean, that sounds like the saving grace to me is not saying, hey, our drummer sucks. Like, he's super committed and he's always the first one at practice and the last one to leave, but he's just dump.
Right.
Like, you've got a great door opening to say, like, hey, Bill, do you remember how you haven't been here for the last 6 weeks? You out.
No, you should make him play a show with you. Do like the actor's worst nightmare shit. Like, get him on a stage, unpracticed. He doesn't even know the songs. You're playing like a slow ballad, and he's giving you like a and you're like, oh man, he's not going to want to even perform music anymore after this embarrassing night.
But then, to be fair, he's the drummer, so he's walking out going,
Nailed it, perfect. Good.
Exactly. That is the problem. The drummer is going to be like, "Whoa! Did you see my performance? I was amazing."
No, I don't know. You guys must not have seen that thing you do, because the way that it shakes out is that everybody instinctually starts playing with the drummer. Tom Hanks loves it. You're famous. You're huge. I guess it works either way. I mean, your point about not adhering to the original lineup, John, reminds me of something I was reading about just today. I was reading up on the band The Sweet. You may know from Ballroom Blitz fame. The Sweet had 4 guys in it. 2 of the guys died. The other 2 guys are now performing as individual suites in the U.S. and the UK. They have franchised.
They have splinter-celled.
They have splinter-celled the suite. And half the band is dead. The other half have basically asexually reproduced.
Right.
Half the members twice the band.
Sweet UK, sweet US.
That's not just resilient. That's creating jobs.
Yeah.
Well, that's super common in rock and roll, right? I mean, what the hell is Creedence Clearwater Revisited?
Yeah.
It's the 3 guys minus the guy that wrote all the songs and sang them and played all the guitar parts.
It's like if you keep swapping out members of Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young, eventually you don't even notice you don't know any of these guys.
Yeah, or the Commodores. How many original Commodores are there left? It's like one guy from the Commodores, his son, his son's friend, his son's friend's
one master
dad.
general.
Yeah,
one.
Yeah, exactly. Like the postman. Like the postman's dog. It's like it doesn't resemble the original band at all.
Dr. Feelgood.
But listen, you got to fire the guy. You got to fire the weak link. I mean, I don't want to introduce any strife into the My Brother and Me podcast.
How do you start that conversation? If we had, for instance, let's just role play. If we had to have it with Travis, let's just role play.
Sure.
Hold on.
Sure. Like you got a weak link.
Yeah.
What are you going to say?
Hypothetical, Travis. Don't worry.
It's a hypothetical Travis. We're just picking. It's any one of us.
Here, let me do it. Here, I've got 3 names written on a piece of paper. I'm going to throw them into the air and catch one. I caught Travis. So,
for instance, in this situation, what I would do is I would have like a guest expert come on the show.
Interesting.
What?
That you kind of like better. That's like funnier, quicker than Travis.
We'd have to start doing that, but okay, yeah, sounds good so far.
Right. And then after you establish a rapport where
yeah.
Travis just is kind of like trying to get a word in edgewise and can't.
Yeah.
Wait, hold on.
Then it becomes just kind of clear to him that he's being
Maybe it's
supplanted.
time to.
How long do you think that would take? Maybe 21 minutes and 48 seconds ish.
You guys.
I think he'd get the point pretty fast, unless he's a drummer.
John, we wish we could keep talking.
Wait, I have
to
one
you
more
all-
question.
No, what? You guys
Yes,
hear that?
you'll like this. You'll like this.
Okay.
Okay, real quick, Trav.
Dear brothers and John Roderick, my girlfriend refuses to eat chicken unless it's been deboned. No wings. No wings, legs, thighs, nothing, unless the bones are out of sight and out of mind. She tells me it's because the bones are gross and morbid. I tell her she is being hypocritical and should consider vegetarianism if she can't face facts. Is my girlfriend being hypocritical, and how do I stop picking these dumb fights? And that's from Thanks, I Ate the Bones in Texas. And that is subject line Roderick specifically. For you,
John, have you done anything in your fucking life that would make people think that you're some sort of weird chicken expert, man?
As a matter of fact, yes. I am a chicken fingers eater.
But are you a known? I have listened to
Alleged chicken
I have listened to all of your albums back and forth. I don't think there's a song on one of them called "Yummy Yum Yum." I'm a chicken eater, man.
No, I keep that part of my life separate. That's sort of that's on the private
Gotta have
premises
something for you.
That's right. But I too share your girlfriend's sort of distaste. Not I don't think it's gross exactly, but like if I were given a plate of chicken tenders and next to it was a plate of like whole chicken parts, I prefer the processing because, you take a chicken, you have to kill it, you have to pull the feathers out of it, you have to wash it and pull all its guts out, then you have to chop it up. Now, that's a lot of processing. I don't see what is so... I don't see why you stop processing the fucking thing at that point.
Yeah, you get to you do feathers, and then you're basically like, man, I'm done.
Keep processing it until it's just a pile of meat.
But when you got bones, they're passing the savings along to you.
Yeah, that's the thing. You're paying for that bone weight.
That's true.
That's another thing. Like if I'm going to pay the extra, I want to pay for the processing of somebody taking all that meat, putting it in a little pile, breading it, and deep frying it. I don't want to have to sit. I mean, and I feel like I feel like eating chicken off the bone is the last vestige of like feral, like animal instinct that most of us get to experience. You're sitting at your freaking desk all day in an Aeron chair. You go down to an air-conditioned garage and get in your Prius. You drive to your air-conditioned garage in your subdivision, and then you're eating chicken off the bone, and you think you're a wild man?
And then you bury the bones in the backyard and you shit by the tree.
Yeah, and your girlfriend is some kind of wuss because she wants it to come to her like as a Totino's pizza roll, like fully processed.
She wants
chicken pills.
She wants someone from what's a chicken company? Who's good about
Dyson.
chicken?
Dyson.
Dyson. Mr. Dyson rolls up, chews up the chicken, spits it into your girlfriend's mouth. That's what you want. That's what you're asking for.
Yeah, you want chicken paste that is formed into the shape of little chickens, like they do at McDonald's.
Yeah.
Or stars.
Or dinosaurs.
Dinosaurs is fine. John, if you would like to spend more time with John Roderick, and who wouldn't, you have that opportunity. You can go to boatparty.biz and hop onto the Atlantic Ocean Comedy and Music Festival. John, what's that?
Well, it is a... I was not aware how ad-driven this podcast was.
It is all
For
ads.
every time we mention boatparty.biz, we get a free boat.
If you can talk about how delicious the Tyson chicken served on this boat is going to be.
So you show up
How
on
processed is it?
You show up on the boat. The first thing that happens is the first thing you see is some kind of animal. The original cruise I went on, it was a lion. Sometimes it's a dolphin, carved out of butter, sitting in a bowl of ice next to a swimming pool, and I mean that's your first impression.
Use your imagination from there.
That is the degree of luxury you are experiencing on even the smallest cruise. And boatparty.biz, of course, is a major cruise property.
Is it fun? Can we go back to the butter? I hate to stall out here, but is it functional butter or is this?
Oh yeah.
Are you
Is
going
it
to be
just
the
a
asshole?
time? Is
If
it
you're
just
the
a
guy-
timekeeping mechanism?
If you're the guy who dips in first,
You
are
just-
you the asshole?
I think you just go after that butter, and what ends up happening, I think, is they use that butter for the rest of the cruise. Like if you're eating a scone on the last day of the cruise, it came from the dolphin tail. So I go.
Okay, so you go nose to tail.
I go right for the lion, right for the butter lion, and just dig right in. That's how you know you're on the boat.
Is there any entertainment acts, or is it just looking at butter mostly?
I will tell you, I've been on a lot of cruises, and the boatparty.biz last year was, it was absolutely a singular cruise experience. Freaking hilarious. It's a small enough boat that there's a lot of interaction with the entertainment. There's so much entertainment on the bill that you almost can't help but interact with them, because when you go into your stateroom, there's a chance that one of the comedians or musicians is actually going to be in there fluffing your pillow.
Yeah, that's how Chris Fairbanks earned his ticket on board.
We had such a hilarious time last year. The last night of the cruise, the entire, all the performers all jumped in the swimming pool at about 1:00 in the morning. Eugene Merman was first in with he had a bottle of brandy in one hand and maybe like a vape cigarette in the other. And he was like, "Everybody in the pool!"
I hope he got home all right.
Oh yeah, he's fine. He survived. But, boatparty.biz just added Todd Barry, who is I think going to be performing the Eugene Merman role this year.
Of embarrassing himself in a pool.
Yeah, although he will not have a bottle of brandy or a vape cigarette or get in the pool, but otherwise he'll be the spark that ignites it.
Indistinguishable.
Yeah, that's right.
Now, John, we're not going to be on the cruise, so can you describe it again, but make it sound worse and shittier, so I don't feel so bad?
Let's see. The city of Nassau, Bahamas, feels a little dangerous.
It's a beautiful paradise, John.
It's a beautiful
I see right
paradise.
through you.
But it's a little bit. It has that shabby chic of that is so characteristic of the Mediterranean.
It was a valiant effort, but the whole thing's going to be magical.
Last year on Nassau, I rented a scooter and drove to the other side of the island with a beautiful girl on the back, and we got caught in a brief warm rainstorm. If that makes you feel better.
Ooh, gross.
So that we were both just soaked to the bone. Oh, it was so bad.
That sounds like the day that Bill Murray talks about wishing he had instead of Groundhog Day and Groundhog Day. That does not sound too bad to me.
Wait. I got soaked and my iPhone got wet.
Oh, no.
So that now when I take it in to have it serviced, they give me the stink eye at the Apple store. Does that make you
Is
feel
the
bad?
phone still wet, John, from last year?
It still works, but they have some litmus paper in there that's like, oh, this phone is pregnant, and it won't get fixed anymore.
They're
Well,
giving
if you
the
get it
stink-
wet after midnight.
Yeah.
That's right.
They're giving you the stink eye because your phone smells like the funnest thing that ever happened, and they didn't get to go.
Well, what happened is it turned from a Mowgli into a gremlin, and now I have to deal with this fucking angry gremlin phone all the time.
John Roderick, thank you so much for joining us on our show. It is a real pleasure. Boatparty.biz is where people can go if they want to spend some time with you, personal time.
Me and many other great performers.
So many others, and you're on Twitter, of course.
That's right.
John Roderick. That's Roderick. Is there anything else you would like to promote?
Do we still announce being on Twitter as though it's something
That not everybody is
that-
already
that
doing.
Let me check my notes here. You're on something called Twitter?
I just don't want people to have to look for you. I want them to
Right.
just have a direct line to your feed so they can follow it.
At John Roderick on Twitter? You should listen to my podcast, which is called Roderick on the Line, which is not part of the Maximum Fun Network for reasons that are unclear to me. But I'm just a lonely soldier in the world.
We can't afford Merlin. His writer is like crazy.
Believe me, I know it's absinthe all the way down. But yeah, that's right. I do a podcast with Merlin Mann, and I'm just I'm part of the general fabric of the American sub entertainment business, and you will see me in your town at some point.
You'll see him. Are you going to? I know you've been.
He's
I know
around.
you've been playing some shows up in the Pacific Northwest. Are you planning on doing that more countrywide?
Good question. Well, I'm going on a cruise. Did I tell you about that?
Right.
in
Is that
Florida?
cruise
This-
coming to Austin, fucking Texas? Are you going to park the boat in Lady Bird Lake?
You know, why the hell is that called a lake? It's a fucking river.
It is a lake. It's closed off.
You put a dam on a river. I guess you can call it a lake.
Yeah.
It still looks like a river.
It's a fucked up river. But
It's the slowest moving
they
river.
can't call it Lady Bird fucked up river.
Yeah.
This is the greatest podcast.
All right.
No, we will come to Austin. We'll come to Austin very soon because Austin loves the long winters and we love Austin.
We love you. Thank you so much for joining us, Mr. Roderick, John, if you don't mind.
Thank you, bros.
Sure. And I think there's more show after this, so let's go back to the show. That is also us. It'll be just like this. without the-
How about a Yahoo? Quickie. This who was sent in by Drew. Thanks, Drew. It's by Yahoo Answers user. They've been deleted. They ask, do you ever get scared your parents might find out about Sims 4? I'm assuming they mean Sims 3, because obviously Sims 4 isn't out yet, but I am very much looking forward to the new creative Sim system with dynamic face dragging. Watch the trailer. It looks great. This face dragging, it looks out of control. It has woohooing and stuff in the game, but I don't do that stuff, except woohooing to make kids. I get scared my parents might find out, and I may not be able to play it anymore. That's why I limit my woohooing, kissing, hugging, and touching. I tell my parents my sim is single, and she's not ready to mingle. When they ask who's the guy in the house, I ask them what guy they're talking about until they leave me alone.
Jesus Christ.
I only woohoo to make kids.
I
don't-
want to throw this out. When you first asked the question, Griffin, I was afraid you meant something like, I'm afraid my parents will find out about Facebook and start using it and contacting all my friends.
Well, yeah. Well, you don't want your parents woohooing on the
God,
side.
You want to only know that they woohooed once.
Yeah.
And you were born.
To make you. That's the ideal. Ooh.
And if they could somehow genetically woohoo so that none of their sim bits actually touched, that would be wonderful.
You while Griffin was reading this question, my connection broke up, so I didn't hear it, and I was going to stop and say something, but I decided not to, assuming that I would be able to assemble the question through context clues. That is becoming increasingly unlikely. It seems.
No, this will be fun. This will be like a board game. So I think, if I was a parent and I saw my kid woohooing and kissing, hugging, and touching virtual boys or girls, I would say, I don't care if your sim is single and not ready to mingle. I'm not interested in watching you do this because I have to watch everything you do on your computer. Because if I look away for a second, you'll be abducted.
Through the computer, like in Captain N, you'll be sucked right into the screen.
You'll be sucked in. Mother brain will
Also,
fucking snatch you up.
several issues of Are You Afraid of the Dark, I believe.
Yeah, that's basically the plot of every other Are You Afraid of the Dark?
Yeah. I would be willing to bet that if this is a big enough of a problem for this question asker, that their parents keep bringing this up, they're already pretty worried about it.
Yeah.
If it's enough that you have to constantly explain to your parents that while your sim is single, she is not ready to mingle,
Look,
the parents are going,
That's
what
how
the fuck is wrong with our kid?
Can we all admit how we play The Sims right now for once and all and settle it? We all start it like, I'm going to start and I'm going to recreate the house I live in. Or maybe I'm just going to pick up some architectural studies and test out what kind of crazy MC Escher shit I can make. He was the guy who made all the buildings. And then, maybe I'll make a boat or something. Or maybe, I'm going to have a guy that's really good at guitar and he becomes the most famous guitarist on the earth. That's what I'm going to do. And then 15 minutes later, you're trying to get your sim to fuck everybody in town. Everybody.
I feel like it is like a psychological test that if you watch someone play Sims, they're either going to end up A, being the most boring, all-knowing, all-powerful being in the world. They're going to B, spend all their time trying to make their Sims fuck. Or C, they're going to put walls up around a Sim and make them pee themselves and die.
Yeah.
Right. I'm going to download the celebrity skins so they look famous. And I'll lock Greatest American Hero and MC Hammer in a room and then
And
the
MC
doors.
Escher.
Yeah.
And MC
Escher.
Hammer.
And MC Usher.
MC Usher, and then you make them all fuck, and then you put a fireplace in the room. I'll take care of them. That's what Kanye West, when he wrote the album My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy, that's what he was talking about.
About Sims?
It's about that, literally that situation we just described. MC Escher, MC Usher, MC Hammer, and the other one. Fucking in a fiery inferno.
Can you make your sim look like a nun? Mm-hmm. Is that a possibility?
I mean, you can, and it'll just make it more scintillating when that nun breaks the habit, if you know what I mean. I mean, she,
I don't.
She takes all of her clothes off
But if she takes off her clothes, she's not a nun anymore. Come on, Griffin.
I guess you're right. That's how it works. That's why all nuns stink like shit. It's true.
You ever seen a nun just walk through the car wash?
Man, I want to play some Sims now.
Yeah, I know, right? Do you guys remember Sims Online?
Oh,
that shit
yeah.
was fucked up.
Yeah, it was real fucked up because that game was like The Sims. Everyone's trying to fuck, but guess what? There's people on the other end, real life people. Hello. Hello, how are you? Good to meet you. Oh, internet? Sure. Fuck me. I fucked you. We did it for real. If you fuck in the game, you fuck in real life. The Sims Online, brought to you by EA. You're gonna love fucking the internet. It's like EverQuest, but it's gonna leave you bone dry.
Folks, that's going to do it for us. Thank you so much to, John Roderick, but we thank him every week.
Right.
Triple thanks with
double-
sugar.
To John Roderick for joining us on this program. We haven't recorded that interview yet, so I hope he has lived to this point to actually record.
Well, more likely, I hope we don't like fucking pee our pants, and then you can hear the pee in the recording.
So thank you to him. Thank you to you for listening to the program. You can follow John Roderick. Oh, we probably did the plugs, didn't we? Do you think?
In the past?
In the
Or the future?
our future selves.
We should mention again to go to boatparty.biz. Think about it. Think about it
There.
real hard, because it's going to be a goddamn slam dunk.
Thanks to people tweeting about the show, like Jesse, Don Chappell, Epinards and Caramel. So many others. You're all fantastic.
And we haven't, I don't know that we've ever mentioned this, but if you'd like to get some more information or see like pictures from live show and everything, check out our Facebook group, My Brother, and Me. Go check it out.
Yeah,
we
there.
Hey, we have one of those. If you are going to be at our LA live show next week, a week from
Yep.
in like 4 days, god damn it. Well, please send us a question. Let us know that you're going to be there so we can call you out. And then let's get some mad bro grabs going afterwards.
Let's get it going. Let's get it popping. And that's going to do it for us here. My brother, me, Griffin. You got a last question for us?
Got this final one. Please listen to the other Max Fun shows too. MaximumFun.org.
they're all
So many
great,
good ones.
yeah.
All right, final question. This final Yahoo was sent in by Zach Baum. Thank you, Zach. It's by Yahoo Answers user Erica, who asks, "Oh, what is a marijuana nugget?"
I'm Justin McElroy.
I'm Travis McElroy.
I'm Griffin McElroy.
This has been my brother, and me. Kiss your dad. Square on the lips.
MaximumFun.org.
Comedy and culture.
Artist owned.
Listener supported.
Have you made vacation plans yet? The second annual Atlantic Ocean Comedy and Music Festival is ready to set sail this summer, and we want to see you on board. Imagine amazing comedians, stellar music, and beautiful Caribbean views. It all takes place July 25th through 28th, en route to Nassau, the Bahamas. And frankly, we've impressed even ourselves with this lineup of bullseye favorites. You've got Moshe Kasher.
I was in an airport recently. You ever see somebody and you're just like, oh, so you're what's wrong with everything in the world?
Kyle Kinane.
Anybody else in here get so drunk last month you had to call a cab just to take you to Wendy's?
W. Kamau Bell.
So complicated, my feelings.
Morgan Murphy.
I don't know if you guys know what a facelift is. It's when they take your face skin and they peel it away from your face, and in that little space there, that's where they find your self-esteem.
And besides them, Greg Barrett, Chris Fairbanks, Karen Kilgariff, Natasha Leggero, Guy Branum, Tony Kameen, and Carol Kolb, plus an awesome music lineup hosted by John Roderick of The Long Winters and featuring our pal Gene Gray. Come on, what else are you going to be doing? Don't miss the funniest weekend of your life. Get your tickets right now. Go to boatparty.biz. Yeah, that's right, boatparty.biz. The Atlantic Ocean Comedy and Music Festival. Comedy, music, shuffleboard.